top two tactics, I would say, content, as how many times have people have said content, but at the same time, I still don't think that businesses are truly looking at quality versus quantity. And
Just gonna ask.
there's a new page on my site. Great, that counts as content. So we've kind of like divided, not to keep talking about us, but just to kind of give you perspective, is we've kind of divided our content into two different types. So we have shopper content that is that reviews, comparisons, that we don't really like have that bigger long-term goal of actually ranking organically for a specific model search, because it's so competitive. There's not only the OEM sites, but there's, Edmunds, cars.com, etc. Where we see real traction organically is when we're creating that dealership type of content. So writing about specific locations, so that when I Google, Nissan dealer near Boston, I'm getting served that particular organic listing. We've seen those pieces of content perform incredibly well for not only the dealer's PMA, but also going after competitors' areas as well. So I would say, when you're thinking about content, really evaluate the quality. You should be able to talk to the writer who's producing your content, because they should be someone who's actually in-house writing that piece. And especially that SEO content, that content that's used to rank, it should be unique. Reviews and comparisons, to me, they just need to look really nice, because that's where we're getting those people who are researching, engaging with the site, going into inventory to start shopping. But where we want to get that actual visitor is through that dealership content. And the only way you do that is with unique content. So that was a long number one.
Yeah. So I just want to ask, so I feel like we've been talking about making sure businesses have unique content for a really long time, like a decade now. Thank you for diving into what that unique quality content looks like. I don't think people realize that there's a lot of different ways to do that, but copy pasting something that a manufacturer puts out as and fill in the blank of the cities is not going to help.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like what pages are being built for you for research, and then what pages are being built for you to rank? So I would think of them in like two separate things. The ones that you're building to rank have to meet certain quality standards and of course be unique. So yeah, exactly like what you're saying.
That's awesome. Okay, and number two?
Number two, I would say citations.
Okay.
So, especially for a local business like a dealership, we know that those dealer search terms perform. So someone, again, looking for a Nissan dealer, Boston, we not only want that regular organic listing, but we also, of course, want those local listings. So what we really kind of focus on is consistency and, of course, accuracy. So I always say, like, to think about it this way, like every time you're doing a search for Nissan dealer near me and someone's in your PMA, what's happening is Google is basically crawling not only, of course, your GMB, which is the priority, but it's also comparing against different types of citations. So whether that's Facebook where you're listed, Bing, Yelp, whatever those sites are that can have your name, address, website, hours, etc., those have to be consistent and accurate. The last thing Google wants to do is start to serve up results to searchers where they're directing someone to the wrong address during the wrong hours. It's not the correct business. So it's in Google's best interest to serve the most accurate results. And you have to power that by ensuring consistency and accuracy across as many citations as possible.
So we did get a quick question on what a citation is. And I think that you did a good explanation, but to reiterate, a citation is anywhere, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is anywhere, any site that lists a business name, address, web address, phone number. So those do appear on your Google, your Facebook, anytime that there's like listings of all the different businesses, that's a citation. And can you help us understand how many potential citations are available for a business?
I mean, in reality, there's hundreds of citations. I'd say, we of course have like our priority citations, and there's some that are like super, super critical. Like if you think about, if someone's buying a car because they got in an accident and their car is totaled and they're taking an Uber to your location, what maps is Uber utilizing? That's a citation. That's where your business is listed, and it's powering Uber's map. So again, it plays a much bigger role than I think people realize, but
Right.
in reality, there's hundreds, but there's definitely like core ones that we absolutely focus on first and foremost when we kick off a client.
How many of the core ones are there that we would want ideally businesses to focus on?
Sure, I would say core, critically important, probably 15, medium important, probably closer to 30.
Which I think is an important number to share, because I think when people think critically, they're only thinking of like the 3 to 5 that come to mind, right? So that. Thank you for sharing that.